105 and verse 40. And so this is just a brief description of the quail. A quail is a collective name for several genera of mid-sized birds in the pheasant family, Phasianidae. Quail are small, plump, terrestrial birds. They are seed eaters, but they will also take insects and similar small prey. This is according to the Wikipedia, so I'm just giving you a quick little definition of the quail, and there's also a picture so you can see what it looks like, what quail looks like. Now this next slide compares the classification to the quail and the chicken. Now I will mention this: the first three classifications, the kingdom, phylum, and class, all birds, be they clean or unclean, will be the same, and that's because they're birds. We're going to focus on the order and the family. And as you see that the chicken and the quail, most of their classifications are the same. And you see that they're related, both are part of the Phasianidae, which is the pheasant family. Now you see that they don't share the genus and species, because see, the genus and species, this is a more specific breakdown of the animals. But that's just like comparing two siblings, like me and my sister. My blood type is A, her blood type is B. But even though we don't share the same blood type, you can still use our blood, and our blood will still show that we are without doubt of the same family. We share the same parents, and we share the same ancestry. So I'm just using that as a comparison. So that's how you would compare the chicken and the quail. They may not share the same genus and species, but they're still closely related. They're still of the same order, and they're of the same family. And as you see, I have in red the matching ones, the ones that they have in common. That's in red. So you see where they are very closely related. And as you know, quail is a clean bird. And now, since they're both of the pheasant family, I just wanted to throw in the pheasant also, because it's mentioned. And so if pheasant is related to, if the quail is of the pheasant family, the pheasant must be a clean bird, of course. And this is just a brief description of the pheasant. A pheasant is a bird in the pheasant family, Phasianidae. It is native to Georgia, the country Georgia, and has been widely introduced elsewhere as game bird. It's a game fowl. This is according to Wikipedia. And look at the classification of the pheasant and the chicken. And once again, same as the quail. 5 out of the 7 classification, it matches with the chicken. Of the same kingdom, phylum, class, order, and family. 5 out of 7. Same as a quail. So I just wanted to throw in the pheasant as well, because it's of the bird and the chicken and the quail is of the pheasant family. Now I'm going to compare the chicken to some unclean birds. And the first one here is the common vulture, which is also known as the buzzard. And this is one of the birds that was mentioned in the Torah as being unclean, and we're not to eat it. The common buzzard, aka vulture, is a medium to large bird of prey. It mainly eats small mammals and will come to carrion. Carrion is like the dead carcasses you see side the road, something like that. That's what a carrion is. This is according to Wikipedia. And you see these, these big birds, you see them by the road eating the roadkill. It's such a gross sight. This is a buzzard. This is a vulture. And now this is the bird. This is the very bird that people who says that chicken is unclean, they say that the chicken is related to this bird, the buzzard. So now we're going to see how closely the buzzard is related to the chicken. And as I said before, all three, they're going to match the first 3 classes. All birds have this in common. But as you can see, other than that, the buzzard shares no common classification, no common traits with the chicken. As you can see, it's of a totally different order. It's of a totally different family. And there it goes. It has it's not related other than the first 3. is not related to the chicken. The chicken is not related to it. And I just want to use another unclean bird, the bald eagle. And as we know, the bald eagle is the national bird. It's a great, powerful bird of prey, a very magnificent bird, which will explain why the United States chose it as the national bird. The bald eagle is a bird of prey found in North America. It is the national bird and symbol of the United States of America. This is according to Wikipedia. This is a picture of the bald eagle. And now I'm going to compare the classification of the bald eagle to that of the chicken. And once again, other than the first three, there's no relation to the chicken. This is a second unclean bird, and it's not related to the chicken. It's of a totally different order. It's of a totally different family. There's no relation. So, now, I'm going to use one last bird, unclean bird. The raven, the common raven. The common raven is a large black bird in the crow family. Because of its black plumage, croaking call, and diet of carrion, the raven has long been considered a bird of ill omen and of interest to creatures of myths and legends. Like it's closer related to the crow. It's a very, black, it's a beautiful black color. The raven, is closer related to the crow. And if you read a lot of poetry or read mythology, it is associated with bad omens. The raven is. Now, we're going to compare the raven to the classification of the raven to that of the chicken. And once again, other than the first three, there's no relation to the chicken. This is another unclean bird that we're forbidden to eat. And once again, it's no relation to the chicken. Totally different order. It is of a totally different family. Now this is the last bird, a last unclean bird that I'm going to use to compare the chicken. So we compared the chicken to clean birds. We compared it to unclean birds. And it's found that the chicken has more in common, according to the scientific classification, has more in common with the clean birds than with the unclean birds. So with this evidence, I can't help but form the conclusion that chicken is a clean meat. So help yourself. So my advice to you is not to base your beliefs on the opinions or the unfounded doctrine of Pharisees. And also, we shouldn't call the food that y'all deem as clean, we shouldn't call it unclean. And of course, everything we eat, everything is poison due to the, hormonal injections in the meat, the genetic modifications, and even the vegetables, the pesticides they put in the plants and stuff like that. But that's where we have to bless our food and sanctify it and set it apart. Now, I know there are cases where we may have to abstain from certain foods or limit certain foods for our personal health reasons, because certain foods we eat may trigger certain reactions in our body when we may have food allergies, or certain foods may trigger migraines, and some of us Acodes have fibroid tumors. And eating certain meats, because of the hormones that they inject in the meats, we have to limit or abstain from certain meats. But as you can see with this lesson and with this research, this evidence, it shows that chicken is a clean meat. So you can believe whatever you want to believe, but these are facts that I presented here in this lesson. So you can take it or you can leave it. And also, here are all the references that I consulted, that I referred to put this lesson together in my research. And I also would like to point out the Animal Diversity Web. This was made by the University of Michigan, and this website gives good information on different animals and things like that. This is if you don't fully trust Wikipedia, this is a backup resource that you can use. And you can just simply type in any search engine, type in animal diversity web, and this site should pull up. It was an excellent, I think it's an excellent source. So I hope and I pray that this lesson answers some questions for you, shed a light for you on the matter of chicken, because since it's not specifically mentioned in the scripture as being clean and unclean, it was like, well, is it or is it not? So hopefully with these facts that I presented, it cleared up and answered, some questions that you may have. And there's some of you that could have been a little confused. So I pray that it did so. And once again, this is Keziah Bat Israel of Israelite Heritage Women's Ministry, the Blessed Handmaidens of Yah Yehoshua. Shalom, and may Yah bless.